Hi, I'm DJ Clearing. I'm from Menasha. Welcome everybody to Poetry Month. I am so excited that everybody is going to hear all these fantastic poets from Wisconsin. You know, I started writing in my mid-20s. I lived in Minneapolis. I did some journal writing. I wrote a couple plays. I was heavily into the visual arts. I was doing large-scale photography at the time. I had a really nice studio. I had an old church. It had a theater in it. There was a stage and lighting, and it was perfect for large-scale photography. I wrote grants for a few years. I did a lot of technical writing for companies. By my mid-40s, my visual arts had kind of died down. Prior to that, I was showing with Peter Dean and Andy Warhol, Christopher Mako, and some other people. But visually, I had just lost that drive for visual art. And I was just adrift for a few years. Got up to my mid-50s. God, I was just at a loss. 40s to 50s, I had so many things against me. I had so many losses. You know, I had friends, I had family that had passed, I had trust and betrayals. It was very sad. So then in my 50s, you know, my wife is like everything to me. She's my best friend, she's my lover, she's my partner. She goes everywhere with me. She took a job and she had to leave for a few months. It wasn't a separation, you know, we were still together, but I just felt terrible. The biggest thing in my life was gone, and I didn't know what to do. I wasn't visually producing anything any longer, and I started writing, and I wrote her a poem every day, you know, a love poem, and I sent it to her. And all of a sudden, you know, I found a new artistic expression, so I guess my poetry writing started in my mid-50s, out of the loss of my wife for just a short period of time, but you know, I found a new artistic expression, so that's when I started writing. That's wonderful. The writing's personal, you know. I write for me, you know, and then I share it. But if the written word is spoken, you know, is it published then? Or if the written word is read, is it published then? Or is a poem that's written and then printed, is that published? I speak spoken words. Does that mean I'm published? What would really be nice is like if a publisher promoted me. I read a lot around the state. You know, I read at The Draw, I read at Evergreen, and some other places. So I don't know, it's up to you to consider whether I'm published or not. There's always things you want to do. You know, I want to grow a little bit. Poetry is such a personal thing. It's like I wanted to have a dog again. I want to sit naked in the middle of the forest and just listen to things. You know, that's poetry. I want to have a dinner party with a bunch of friends that don't know each other. You know, because that's exciting. That's poetry. I want to take my kayak and I want to go through the rapids. That brings poetry out. I just want to sit in my backyard. I want to see the squirrels and I want to listen to the birds. That's poetry. You know, that is exciting. I just want to sit here with you and have a nice tall glass of lemonade. Wouldn't that be nice? You know, I just want the simple things. Yeah. I want to write words a little bit. I want my love. I want to be loved. I just want to hug. That's all. You know, that's what poetry is. How it goes farther than that, it'll find its own path to go there. Poetry is a rawness. Poetry exposes motion. Poetry exposes emotion. Poetry breaks down everything that's there. You know, my poetry is a novel brought down to just one page. It has all those emotions. It has all that complexity. You know, it has all that simplicity. Poetry is just so simple and complicated at the same time. Years ago, I loved reading Camus, even though it was translated. He was just so simple and pure in what in his words. Many years ago, back in high school, I just loved Poe. I'm old enough to be a hippie. I always wanted to be a beatnik. I love Ginsberg. I love Kerouac. I love the Beat Generation. Still being a hippie was fun, I read a lot of Stevenson. I read a lot of Thoreau. I love Mary Oliver. Sure. There's so many beautiful poets. There's so many incredible writers. One of my favorite books ever. I'm sorry I don't know the author. This was, during the mid '70s. Was Beyond Berkeley. It was about all the complications that were happening in our world at the time, and it was a collection and series of writers and poets within that book. And they were all campus people, But it was an incredible story. I like things that tell stories. I think there's a poem in everybody. I think it's there to be brought out, be it to just for yourself to read it, or maybe share it with your wife or a lover, or maybe with the community. It's up to us. It's up to us as a state and as educators to educate the young, to teach them properly, to teach them how to write, to teach them how to read, how to do math, how to think. So important. And that's how we'll have new poets, and that's how poets will come forth. Because there is that little bit of poetry in everybody, but you have to know how to bring it out. We write our words, when we print our books, we need people to buy those. Art isn't free. Everybody thinks, let's go listen to the poet, or let's go listen to some music. Well, somebody has to pay the piper. Maybe we need corporate sponsorships. Maybe there should be a corporate poet laureate for every company in Wisconsin. That would be a nice idea. Maybe out of the lottery fund, we should have 3% go to Wisconsin arts. There's not enough funding that goes to it. Not that I'm looking for a free ride or anything, but you can have a lot of programs for the arts. The arts are the basis of our culture, and Wisconsin has a pretty rich culture. I'm going to share 3 poems with you. They're about my wife, my love. They're about country and sacrifice, and they're about the struggle and reward of farming life. My wife is my most important part of my life. No matter where I go, she's with me. When I'm by myself or hand in hand with her, anywhere I go, in the car, at the movies, watching television, when I'm healthy or sick, when I read or write, she's always with me. This is through the forest. Walking through the forest, the path I take is always with you. Trekking hills and valleys, across fallen trees and broken branches, the canopy protects us. Coming to a clearing, blue skies, light and openness, songs fill the air in harmony. Wildflowers bloom with sweet scents, we play and dance in the meadow. Warm air cools, rains come hard, winds torrents of air rips. What was ours is hurled away. Together we gather what is lost. By the river's edge, tracks can be seen. Wild calls can be heard. Fish are in the eddies. Taking what we need, we move on. I am always with you. Songs fill the air with harmony and dance. What is ours we gathered. Taking what we need on the edge. Walking through the forest. So farming life is hard. The struggle with nature and all its elements is difficult. Winter, spring, summer, and fall, there's always something more that nature hurtles at you. You take care of your family, crops, and your livestock. Each spring you plant your crops and hope. This is crops of hope. The snow piles high on the winter fields, hiding and protecting the rich soil until spring. Blankets of whiteness storing life in their folds. Snow, cold, and frost howl across the prairie. Blizzards so strong you can't see your hand. Like a sandblaster, stripping everything from the surface, drifts as high as the barn. The barbed wire's sharp teeth are covered in weight, each day a little more. When you break the crust, every storm can be seen in a layer. Underneath, all are sheltered from winter's bitterness. All above, hunt and scavenge. The sun is high as crystals dance over the plain. Winter turns to spring, blessings are said. A long gradual warmth, a slow melt. Each drop brings life to the land, nourishment to the earth with thanks. On the first warm day, water rushes through the fields like rivers. The landscape is frozen, and the melt fills the ditches. As it warms, water pools and stands. Rains come and remove the frost. Winter's waste is washed away. The ground has softened. Like a newborn, the soil suckles all it can. Storms pass and acres dry. Rippers till the old into new. Row after row of black exposing new life. The air smells sweet and strong. Planters gently place each seed, spaced for growth, every seed a gift. We will tend them. Planted are our dreams, crops of hope. The cost of freedom is high. We should never take for granted the things we have. Women and men have given their lives so you may speak, pray, write, vote for the pursuit of happiness. Please let us remember all those who have served and sacrificed. This is with humblement. I stopped at the hill's crest. White markers, tablets of the fallen, stand endless to the horizon. Records to the foundation of our union. Ledgers to those who have sacrificed. Homage is given every day. Remember all, for many more are not here. Women and men have fought and died for you, families, liberty, property, freedom, democracy, religion, education, equal rights, speech, and the pursuit of happiness. At every testament, a flag is placed. Each tribute, a star against the blue sky, for the protectors of our faith. Red, white, and blue, pillars of our state. Let their duty not be forgotten. Visit their graves. Thank them each day in your thoughts. With humblement, I kneel to say a prayer. Only God knows the true meaning of a soldier's gift. I'd like to thank everybody. I'm DG Clearing. Again, I'm from Menasha. I hope you're enjoying Poetry Month. There are incredible poets out there and voices to be heard and to listen to. We hope you all write your own poetry. I just want you to share your words, express your thoughts, and listen to others throughout Poetry Month and all times of the year. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.